All right, 5th grade. Today we're gonna work on making our snowmen at night. So, you're of course going to make sure that your name and class code are on the back. I'm going to draw this with a white crayon so you guys can see it, but you guys are going to be drawing this with pencil. So what we're going to do is we are going to start by drawing the head of our snowman. So I'm going to put it not quite in the middle, because this would be the middle. I'm going to put it a little bit above the middle, but I'm going to draw a pretty good sized circle for that head of my snowman. Then I'm going to make a circle that gets a little bit bigger underneath. And you can see I'm connecting it to this. So it's not a complete circle because I'm connecting it to the bottom of the circle I just made. And then I'm going to make one that gets a little bit bigger than that underneath that. Then on top of my snowman, I'm going to make his hat. So I'm going to start with just making a straight line across his head. Again, you're going to be doing this with pencil, so you can erase, like mine kind of goes over the top of my circle, which is fine. I would just erase that line if I was using pencil. And then I'm going to make another straight line for my hat, and then a square that sits on top. And that's about all you need to draw with your pencil to get started. Now, I'm going to quickly draw that on the second piece of paper with my pencil. All right, so now I have my snowman. I am going to first start, we're going to be using different oil pastels than the oil pastels we use on an everyday basis. These have, they're a little bit different. They're a little more oily. They're a little more high quality, and there's more color choices. So we need a dark blue, which is what this is. We need a dark blue, we need a medium blue, and we need a light blue. So I have my dark blue. It almost looks black, but it's dark blue, medium blue, light blue. Then on the left side of all of my circles, so the left side of each of these circles, I am going to go over with my dark blue. And I'm making a pretty thick line, and I'm kind of going down along the bottom of these circles too. So like the left side and the bottoms, because we're going to be working on making some pretty serious shadows on this snowman. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the circle underneath, going back and forth to make sure my line's pretty thick. So you can see the difference. I'll just make a skinny line there. You can see the difference. Once we go to blend it in, it's not going to blend in very nice because there's not enough color there. So I'm going to make a thick line that goes all the way down to the bottom. And then on my hat, there's the long flat part, and then there's the square part on top. So on the left side of the square part, I'm going to add my dark blue, and I'm kind of making the edge right here where it goes into the rest of my hat. I made it a little bit zigzag so that way when I add my other colors, it'll be a little bit easier to blend in. So now I'm going to grab my medium toned blue, and I'm going to put this right next to where I just put that dark blue, and I'm just going to make that same shape, same motion, just right on top of where I just did that really dark blue. And then the same thing on the hat. I'm going to do pretty much the whole middle part of my hat with this medium tone blue, and then I'm also going to do the whole, like about to the middle of the flat part of my hat. So I'm going to do the whole left side all the way to the middle. that. Okay, now we're ready for our lightest blue. And I'm gonna do the same thing, put it right next to where I put that medium blue. Again, it's really important that you're making really thick lines. If you're making these lines too skinny, it's not really gonna make sense as a shadow when you go to blend all this together. And then I'm gonna color the whole right side of my hat blue. This light blue color, I should say. And as you can see, I also did the whole right side of the flat part of my hat as well. Now, I'm ready to get some white, and the white is gonna fill up the whole rest of these circles. Make sure you're pressing with good pressure so you get some nice color payoff. I'll show you here, I pressed with some really good pressure. And I kind of like to overlap just slightly over top of where I put those blues. So that way, again, when I go to blend, it'll blend really nice and seamlessly, and I won't have to try to cover up some of the blue of the paper because I didn't cover up all my space. So again, I pressed here with some pretty good pressure. I'll press here without good pressure. And you can see the difference. This is a nice, solid, smooth white. And this kind of looks like it has texture. There's blue of the paper poking through. So just make sure you're pressing down with good texture, or good pressure, I should say. And filling in that space all the way. Okay, now that we have all that drawn, now it's time to blend these out. So I'm gonna start with my darkest colors and blend those into each other. I'm going all the way around that circle. I'm trying right now just to blend my dark blue and my medium blue. So I'm only blending with one finger. And these oil pastels blend a little bit nicer together than the oil pastels that we normally use. So you'll kind of love how these are blending. Now I'm gonna go through and blend my light blue and my medium blue together with my white. And then I'm gonna blend my medium blue and light blue up on my hat. Now if you feel like you rubbed off too much of your oil pastel anywhere, just go back and add it back. Kind of got some blue on my white somehow. And then you can just very gently, very lightly blend that back in. All right, so now it's time to start adding some details to our snowman. So I'm gonna get a black, and I am going to, we want our snowman to kind of look like we're seeing almost the profile, so almost the side, not completely the side, but almost like a profile. So I'm gonna draw two eyes, and remember they just have coals for eyes, so I'm just gonna draw little black dots for eyes. Same thing for his mouth, and again I'm gonna try to make his mouth look like it's kind of going off the side, so we're only seeing some of the coals for his mouth. His buttons on his front. Then I'm gonna get a dark brown and a medium brown. So let me see, here we go. So I have my dark brown and my medium brown. It's like almost a reddish brown. And I'm gonna draw some arms for my snowman. So this one, we would just be seeing, it's kind of coming off the side, but this one, since he's turned sideways, it's gonna come off somewhere around the middle. Now I'm gonna go over the top of my sticks that I drew for my arms with that light brown, but just the top side of everything. So it kind of looks like there's a little highlight on your sticks. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see I didn't draw over it. I just kind of drew next to it, so it kind of looks like there's a little highlight. Then I'll get my dark orange and draw my nose. Again, we're trying to make it look like he's facing almost all the way sideways, so his nose is kind of sticking off the side. Then I think we're ready for some snow. So I'm going to grab one of these oil pastels that is peeled, these white oil pastels that's peeled, so I can use the side. And next to my snowman, I'm just going to lay some of this white color down. And I'm using the side of my oil pastel because it gives it this cool texture. It makes it look more like some fluffy snow than if you just color the whole thing solid white. Okay, but now we need a shadow underneath. So I'm gonna go back with that really dark, dark blue, the darkest blue I have, and I'm gonna put some dark blue underneath my snowman. Then I'm gonna get some of this medium blue and put that around next to the dark blue. Just like that. And then I'll go and blend it out. And there's kind of my shadow on my snow from my snowman. And if you don't have to do just the medium blue. If you want to do just the dark blue because you like how that shadow looks a little bit better, that's fine. It makes the shadow look a little bit darker. I kind of like that look. It's up to you if you want to add the medium blue in your shadow or not. Okay, so there's my shadow, there's my snowman. All that's left is I want to draw some snowflakes in my sky. So I can draw snowflakes a couple different ways. If I want, I can draw the snowflakes where I have some intersecting lines, but I like to also add some little V lines on top of those intersecting lines. Makes it just look a little more detailed. See that? Every other one, I put 2 on one and then 1 on the next one, 2 on one and then 1 on the next one, those little V lines on top. So I think I might put a couple of those kind of snowflakes, like those are really close and that's why you can see all the details. And then I'll put some where they're just little dots, like they're further away. So maybe I'll have the rest of them just be dots, like they're further in the distance. And we're doing this with white colored pencil so we can have it be a little more detailed. If you do it with an oil pastel, it's just too big, and snowflakes are supposed to be small and delicate, so that's why we're doing it with white colored pencil. All right, guys, there is my snowman at night.